Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Innovate-A-Thon Discussions.
It's where we cover everything going on in the world of innovation, creativity, workforce advancement, entrepreneurial thinking, and enabling the next generation to do good in the world. Today, we're going to explore more interesting topics with mentors, students, innovators. Today, we have our team here for the Innovate-A-Thon tool sets and diving down deeper into a really important topic, critical success factors. So from our team, I have myself, Steven Semetsik, and we have one of our founders, Jim Jindrick, here today too, to dive down into critical success factors and a really important tool set that's used in our program and that's been thought about and developed over many years and many thought processes and many other people to get us to a point where we can talk about it today and just how to utilize it. So Jim, hope you're doing good today. Welcome back for Innovate-A-Thon toolset. And I think what we're talking about today is something that is very near and dear to you. A lot of thought about it over the last, nameless number of years of utilizing it and kind of boiling it down to kind of, a statement. So really, what is the critical success factor? And
it hopefully is something fairly straightforward and fairly simple, but there's a lot of thought that has gone into coming up with these words for it. So a critical success factor, what is it? It's a recipe. It's a short little recipe for making something happen. And the critical success factor for innovation, for a business venture, the words are earn rewards, solving customer problems better than competition. So pretty simple, straightforward, earn rewards, solving customer problems better than competition. That, I would like to say, is an MBA rolled into a nutshell here.
One sentence.
One sentence. One short, sweet recipe for success. And it's critical. And it's really interesting to take those words and look at any company that you want and the ones that are really successful, the Amazons in the world. What do? They earn rewards solving customer problems better than competition. Very simple, but hard to do. It's the recipe, the critical success factor is simple, but putting it to work, that's not quite so simple. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and I think kind of that simple sentence, we use this statement too in the Innovate-A-Thon program and bring it in, but there's a lot inside this packed into that one sentence. So kind of just looking at that, how do you break down each part of it, and how do we start kind of with that first part, like how do you earn rewards, and where do you kind of start from there of breaking down what that means?
Well, earn, a little 4-letter word. Earn. Well, now it's starting to get hard. Earn means work. Another simple little 4-letter word, but you know how much goes into work and earning rewards. And work is the people, the places, the things, the time, the money that are required to earn rewards. The team collaboration, the organization, all of the things that a company does well in their organization to earn those rewards. The rewards are profit. I mean, that's kind of basic for a company, is to be profitable, to stay in business because they're earning money, they're earning a profit. But it's not all that successful companies want to do. They want to be famous. They want to do a good job that people talk about them. Yeah. They want their employees to have satisfaction working in that company. They want the customers to be satisfied. So those are all the rewards that are coming from earning that living.
Yep. Yeah, and I did one thing on the kind of the rewards too, and it's interesting from like a for-profit to a non-profit, and kind of what comes from the mission and the satisfaction and all these other factors that kind of come in too, because it's interesting. Yeah. A reward really could be the impact, right, that's gone through a program, and what does the program really mean? But that's that reward that kind of comes from it. And so yeah, the satisfaction of the outcome, I guess, too, of what it's producing is just another part, and like the passion, kind of tying that into that part of it too, and connecting the reason why. So I just wanted to add.
You make a very good observation that the critical success factor, I keep saying a business, but it applies to nonprofit organizations too.
Yep.
Earning rewards, solving customer problems better than competition. So a nonprofit organization, don't normally think of them as earning a profit where a business does, but they do have to keep above the zero mark on money coming in a nonprofit organization. But they're generally in business to satisfy needs of people to do good in the world.
Yep.
And they don't normally think of nonprofit having customers per se, but they have clients, they have patients, they have people that need help in the world.
Yep.
So, like the Red Cross organization, earning rewards, how satisfying people by delivering blood throughout the world where they're needed for patients, and that's how they get their satisfaction, and they do it really, really well. So.
Yeah, and I just kind of moving through the sentence a little bit more too. How does a business venture or just a company solve customer problems? Like how do you kind of break that down? The next kind of part of just
Typically when you think of a company, what do they have? They have products. So a restaurant might have hamburgers or sandwiches. Amazon's got all sorts of products and things that they deliver, but the product alone typically isn't enough. It's service too that goes with it. So, how did Amazon become this behemoth organization up there? Yes, of course they have products, but they also have overnight delivery, same day delivery. They're providing really good service. They have a website that you can go and find things readily available on it. So their services and their processes that they have are a way that they solve customer problems.
Yeah, I do want to add in there because we talked about it earlier. Convenience, like are you convenient to solving your customer problem? And that's not always the case for everything, but yeah, what's the decision that somebody makes that solves their problem directly, and is it makes sense for them, and is it convenient? So I just want to kind of just add that. We'll talk more about it later, but I just popped into my head of just part of that.
The value proposition is starting to come into play here. You mentioned convenience, part of the value proposition. So earn rewards, solving customer problems better than competition. So that better, how is it better? Typically the value proposition that an organization provides. And that value is simply benefits over the price, over the cost it is to the customers. And what organizations provide better value, those are the ones that are successful, if you will. And you mentioned convenience. So not just the products, the value proposition, the benefits of the products, the benefits of the convenience of going to Amazon, for example, to order something.
Definitely. Yeah. And so again, kind of breaking this down, what are the problems that need solving? I think that's like a question of just there is a problem somewhere, and what are those problems? Like, what are the problems that needs actual solving that, this statement kind of alludes to? So.
Well, it's funny. I have on my bright red shirt today. And you know me, Stephen, I don't have many bright red shirts, but I have one on today. And why do I have this bright red shirt on? Well, it's comfortable. It's got a very nice material. So value proposition, the benefits of a shirt, for example, it fits really well. It's comfortable. I like it. Those are objective. The size of the shirt, the fit of the shirt are objective values for this particular shirt. Now, there's also subjective. It's bright red. I just felt like bright red today. Tomorrow might be blue. So the value proposition, the benefits to the customer, some are objective things and some are subjective. And the companies that provide, solutions to the objective and subjective benefits for the customers, those are the ones that really do well.
Yeah, there's almost a psychological aspect to part of that also.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely psychological. Yeah, what the
Yeah.
customer is looking for.
Yeah. Awesome. And then kind of so the last part of it is, that harsh word, like right at the end, like what is competition? Like, and that can be defined in a lot of different ways, right? So, you need to be able to do it better than somebody, but how do we kind of define like what is competition? So.
Sure. Well, a competition can sort of be broken into two categories, direct and indirect. So, like if we were to take McDonald's, who are McDonald's competitors? Well, we think Burger King right away, right? Or Wendy's are direct competitors to McDonald's. But indirect competitors really close by. Why do you go to McDonald's? Well, you're going to get lunch. Well, Subway doesn't have a hamburger, but they're an indirect competitor. They have lunch.
Mm-hmm.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken doesn't have hamburgers, but they have chicken that competes with McDonald's. So they're kind of closely related. But an indirect competitor, what I could go to the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread and some cold meat and take it home and make my own sandwich or whatever else I might want. So that's kind of a little further down the food chain, if you pardon the pun there, on a competition. Or I could, an indirect competitor might be the TV program that's telling me, hey, Jim, don't have lunch today. You need to lose some weight. So skip lunch today. That's indirect competition.
Somebody just lost a sale. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I just wanted to kind of add one more thing in here too, just because I love 3D printing. 3D printing is an interesting one because when it first came out, there was this big like, oh, everybody's going to be able to make their own things now. How many people actually want to make their own things though? Where's the motivation? Because you have Amazon and all of these things now. You can get pretty much anything you want within a day now, and they're the old school like I'm gonna make it myself. Like I have control over that. That whole like shift of just that's not even most people's mindset nowadays. Is the better solution usually is the more convenient solution that solves somebody's problem the fastest. And so, yeah, when I got all excited and you saw in all these magazines like there's been a 3D printer in everybody's house and you would print whatever you want and you push a button and but that just wasn't the case because there's the indirect thinking of that is that there's too many things that are convenient that trump that pretty quickly. So
it's kind of interesting you bring up 3D printing. So I've had some physical therapy recently, and in the office there where I went, we just having small talk in that, and the small talk in that office on my physical therapist, several of them, they're into 3D printing. That's their hobby. And it connects with what they do as physical therapists because they can print certain devices and things to help with their therapy on there.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a really interesting conversation. I really didn't expect it. So somebody at home doing 3D printing to help what they do in their profession.
Yeah. And more I see that there's very good use case fits for it, but it's not everybody needs the internet or everybody needs a lap like a computer now. It's not that kind of problem. It fits very very specific areas very well, and then so the market fit is different. It's different than an Apple or a Microsoft where everybody uses a software, right? Or everybody needs a phone, or maybe it'll get there someday, but those are very big. Those are very big statements that they're basically been able to destroy all of the other competition that is direct and indirect around them to be able to get where they're at, right? So,
So, Stephen, what do you think about critical success factors? Do you think it's a good tool, or what would you?
Yeah, no, and that one statement too. So it's very, very good to have like a solid statement. We just broke it down, but solving, customer problems better than the competition, that's pretty easy to keep as your motto. Like put it on your wall. Like always look over at it, because if you start to stray, too far away from not really thinking about the actual customer problem, or thinking of a solution that's not really better, or you're not really even thinking about the direct or indirect competition, then you're going to start straying away from, basically the core mission. Even though you might have your own, mission and vision, they always have to have the elements of this in it interwoven. And so always having that, very important to always keep it in mind, keep it handy, print it out, put it on a bumper sticker, because it's easy to remember, but then it can trigger all those other areas that we just talked
I
about.
like that bumper sticker idea. That's a really good one. I think maybe I'll have to get some printed up here. Well, I certainly am biased toward this critical success factor. It's short, sweet, simple, to the point, but a lot of time and thought has gone into it, and a whole bunch of resources and things to pull it together. I kind of say it's an MBA in one statement up there. And I'm a bit biased here, but I think it's a great mission statement for a company.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they want to embellish it and be more specific in things, but I contend that that's a great place to start for a mission statement for any company: is earn a profit, earn a reward, solving customer problems better than competition.
Yeah.
And then they can embellish it and talk about how they're going to solve the problems and how they're going to be better, their value proposition.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really good focal point for everybody in the company. And if you can keep that mission statement short, sweet, and to the point, everybody in the company can be on that same page, if you will, and kind of have it in their brain that when I go to work tomorrow, this is the mission of my company that I work for.
Yep. Yeah. And it's almost, can you come up with a synonym for each of these that aligns with something in your mission statement? Because you should be able to, directly correlate that. And so, yeah.
So I think this is probably a good place to do our little quick summary here. The critical success factor: earn rewards, solving customer problems better than competition. That's a mission statement for a company. It's a critical success factor. You can use that to analyze companies. Are they doing that? The good companies in the world, they are doing that. The companies that aren't doing so well, I'll bet you can figure out where they're not doing one of the elements of the critical success factor. They're not better than the competition. They're not solving customer problems with a good value proposition. They aren't doing it in a way that's earning them profit, earning them rewards, earning their satisfaction for their employees. So,
yeah, I wanted to kind of throw something in here because it came across my mind. The kind of concept that competition can exist, and it should probably exist together. So there's this kind of, all boats rise together with, rising water. I'm trying to remember the quote, but you usually don't have, or at least we try not to have monopolies and, things like that, where there's somebody that rules dominantly over one. You usually have at least two or three, even in a dominant space. And you kind of have to have that competition in order to drive the other company to succeed and push each other. And then, even if you have indirect, there could be something that drives you to really focus on directly what is your value. And but you have to have another reference point, right? There has to be something else that you look at that helps drive you into that, back into your core of what makes you good and what makes you solve the problems better. So, yeah.
Yep. And competition makes you healthier, if you will.
All right. Well, I'm just looking through like this. This has been a great conversation. I don't know if we wanted to go through any like last kind of just closing words on, maybe how somebody could take a next step on, using it. I think we kind of gave that a little bit in here. It's a great simple statement to just take and start trying to apply. And we apply it in the Innovate-A-Thon program. So we have our 4 stages. We kind of introduce it in the latter half of the program to kind of push the teams. You know, they've ideated, they've come up with potential paths and solutions, but really you're going to be able to pick out from your ideation what fits this path more, right? It's almost like here's like an illuminated path that it does have to line up kind of with where you want to go with your chosen solution. So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we'll go ahead and we'll end it there. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Innovate-A-Thon discussions. Thanks so much, Jim, for being on today, and great conversation. And we'll see you all next time.